Thanks for joining us for CBN Newswatch. I'm Efrem Graham. The raging California fires have now killed at least 17 people. That number is expected to climb, with hundreds more still unaccounted for. More than 2,000 homes and businesses are also in ruins, and the devastating flames are still burning. Firefighters brave another day of massive wildfires burning out of control in California's wine country. The end of this battle in Northern California is nowhere in sight.
We have folks on the fire line starting their third shift right now that have not been relieved. 17
wildfires raging across 7 counties in Northern California have turned entire neighborhoods to ash.
We were awoken to a red glow coming out of the north, and had just minutes to actually get out of the house, wake our kids up.
Many who spent decades building their dream home watched them burn in the firestorm. Crews battling the fires in Santa Rosa were forced to just let the homes go.
We don't have a lot of water, so the water supply is difficult. It's just better to let it burn.
Firefighters say their first priority is saving lives and then property. But with nearly 200 people still unaccounted for, they warn the death toll is likely to rise. This man lost his parents. They were married for 75 years and died together when the fire tore through their home.
It hit so fast, and they just didn't have a chance. My mother had a stroke, and she couldn't move very well at all, and my father certainly never would have left her.
In Southern California, firefighters are slowly getting an upper hand, dousing hot spots in the charred remains. But the road ahead is still uncertain when it comes to finding the cause of the deadly, massive fires in Northern California and counting the cost of all that's lost.
Personally, I think it'll be one of the worst disasters in California history.
Efrem Graham, CBN News. Those investigating the Las Vegas massacre are now questioning whether the shooter could have been taken down faster. They released a new timeline, revealing that 6 minutes before Stephen Paddock opened fire on concert goers, he shot a wounded Mandalay Bay hotel security guard outside his door, spraying 200 bullets down the hall. That's a change from last week when police said Paddock shot the unarmed guard after taking aim at the crowd gathered at the country music festival. A spokesperson for Mandalay Bay says the new timeline may not be accurate. This new timeline also raises questions about why police didn't receive vital information from hotel security sooner. 2 hurricanes left Puerto Rico almost in the dark 2 weeks ago. For many, the lights are still not back on. Our Chuck Holton visited the devastation to show us what it's like for people living without modern conveniences we take for granted.
Hurricane Maria was the most powerful hurricane to hit this island in more than 80 years. It was essentially like a 60-mile wide tornado that just hit a bullseye on the nation of Puerto Rico. It was so powerful that it blew paint off the walls and blew bark off trees, but it also essentially destroyed the entire power system. As we drive around here, almost every power pole is damaged, down, broken. They're not going to be able to just repair this. They're going to have to basically rebuild it from the ground up. But that's going to be a very difficult proposition because Puerto Rico was in bad shape before the storm. What I mean is that the government of Puerto Rico has been funding its operations with debt for decades. They've been selling bonds to U.S. investors, and eventually the cost of that debt got so high that they were unable to even pay the interest on it, and they defaulted back in July. So now they're unable to even borrow money for maintenance and operations. Many of the employees of the local power company found out that they were going to default and were afraid they were going to lose their pensions. And so about 600 of them quit, took an early retirement before they defaulted on that debt. What that means is that the local power company here doesn't even have enough employees to do maintenance on the whole system, much less repairs. In addition to that, during the Obama administration, about $170 million was earmarked for what they called green energy, that is windmills and solar farms. Well, guess what? Those things were also completely destroyed in this hurricane. It's going to be months before everybody on Puerto Rico gets their power back, and how they're going to pay for it is anybody's guess. So we went and talked to some people that are sort of on the end of the line, that'll probably be the last ones to get electricity again, to see what it's been like for them already and what it's going to probably be like in the future. Nilda Perales lives in the small village on the coast where the storm first made landfall.
My blood pressure went up because of the heat, and since the 21st of September, we have no water. So I'm praying that it rains and fills the tank so we can bathe.
Her grandsons are learning to live without modern pastimes, and rumors are they won't have light until well into 2018.
I have to have faith it will be sooner than that, because this isn't easy.
Nearby cell towers were also knocked out, but Nilda has a message to send to the world.
In the middle of the trial, in the heat of the battle, God is there. He gives us strength. He gives us power. Because I know that God has it all under control. In the moment we are crying, but with Christ, anything is possible. We keep moving forward.
That was Chuck Holton reporting. The feud between President Donald Trump and Senator Bob Corker continues. GOP lawmakers are treading carefully, trying to avoid taking sides, but they want an end to the war of words that could hurt the Republican agenda. It all started when Senator Corker made comments in an interview with the New York Times.
He doesn't realize that, that we could be heading towards World War III with the kind of comments that he's making.
Following that interview, the president took to Twitter to voice grievances, calling Corker a fool. Corker fired back, calling the White House an adult daycare. But the president needs Corker's support if he's going to get big tax changes through the Senate. He's also a key player in any attempt to end the Iran nuclear deal. Congress is running out of time to decide whether to deport Dreamers. President Donald Trump has given them 6 months to come up with a solution after he dissolved the immigrant work program known as DACA. New numbers show just 1 in 5 Americans want to deport young immigrants who were brought to the U.S. as children. A new poll by the Associated Press finds about 60% of Americans favor finding a way to allow young immigrants to stay in the U.S. legally, while 22% who are opposed to it. Meanwhile, 19% of respondents say all Dreamers should be deported. Israeli intelligence officers have been watching Russian government hackers and say they've been hacking computers worldwide. The New York Times reports the Russians were searching for American intelligence programs. Antivirus software gave the Russians access to about 400 million computers. 24 were used by American government agencies. Israeli officials hacked into Kaspersky's own network. They alerted the United States to Russia's intrusion. That has led to a decision to drop the Kaspersky software program from government computers. Coming up, meet a man who developed severe breathing and walking problems. We're going to show you why thousands of people are reporting devastating reactions to statin drugs. Welcome back. Chances you or someone you know takes a drug to lower your cholesterol. These drugs are called statins, and they're the most widely prescribed in history. But a growing number of doctors and patients have serious concerns about these drugs. Lori Johnson is showing us why.
David Venables blames statins for ruining his life and killing his dream of a retirement filled with travel. He says taking the drug caused such severe walking and breathing problems, he's basically homebound.
Yeah, I have a disease that apparently is not going to get better, and it's progressive. I took the statin drug. It triggered something.
Although David felt great, his doctor prescribed a statin because he felt David's LDL, or bad cholesterol, was too high.
The first sign I had a problem, I woke up screaming.
Statin side effects include memory loss, confusion, and muscle weakness, which often go away when the patient stops taking the drug. Some statin users, however, say their problems are permanent.
There's a whole industry saying it's not from the statin drug. My doctor said, you have a systemic disease, the cardiologist who pushed this on me. You have a systemic disease. He said, but it's not from the statin drug. I said, well, what's it from? He said, I don't know.
David is one of thousands on the web and social media reporting devastating, even fatal reactions after taking a statin, to little avail.
You can't prove it. You can't disprove it. and no one will make money from studying it.
Cleveland Clinic cardiologist Leslie Cho worries stories like this might discourage overall statin use.
And so for us to say things like, oh, I think people are taking too much statin therapy, and for your viewers who desperately need cholesterol-lowering medicine because they had heart attack or stroke to then take themselves off would be a horrendous disservice.
She goes further, saying not only should patients stick with the drug, but that more should take it.
There's great evidence that if you have low cholesterol, you live longer, have less heart attack, less dementia, less stroke. And these cholesterol-lowering medicines have been studied in over 1 million people. Penicillin was approved based on 40 patients.
While proponents of cholesterol-lowering statins say medical evidence proves the drugs save lives, there are others within the medical community who say that research is deeply flawed. In his book, Overdosed America, Harvard's Dr. John Abramson claims drug companies pay for the studies.
When the drug companies undertake research, their primary goal is to produce what's taken for knowledge that will increase their drug sales.
He says that control allows companies to keep the raw data secret and release only what makes their product look good.
There are significant differences between what's published in even the best journals and the data that exists in a primary form that you can only get access to in litigation. It's corporate secrets.
In short, he says doctors are being scammed.
They're looking at the story that's told by the drug companies, unverified, thinking that that's the real evidence.
Abramson recommends independent experts analyze all of the research before publishing the results to fix this problem. He also suggests that studies compare the results of taking the drug versus lifestyle changes.
Exercising routinely, not smoking, addressing the stress in your life, eating a healthy diet. That's probably about 4 times more important than the conversation about statins.
Abramson adds statistics show out of 83 users, statins prevent only 1 cardiovascular death and 1 non-fatal cardiovascular event out of 23 users.
I think we lower it too much. I think we lower cholesterol too much.
When it comes to heart disease, cardiologist Patrick Fratellone and other doctors want the focus moved from cholesterol to high triglycerides, a blood test often overlooked.
So when you eat a diet that is full of simple sugar, simple breads, pastas, high sugar fruits, your triglycerides go up.
When triglycerides go up, good cholesterol, or HDL, goes down. But both can be improved simultaneously.
So I usually put people on a low carbohydrate lifestyle, moderate fat, good fat from avocados, nuts and seeds, lean protein, but I also put them on oils because omega-3 decreases the triglycerides. There is one supplement that decreases triglycerides called niacin.
Fratellone says raising HDL strengthens the heart and immune system. He recommends HDL levels around 50 and triglycerides at around 150. So while most doctors agree statins are helpful for some patients, with all these questions, you should feel free to talk to your doctor about whether one is right for you. Lori Johnson, CBN News.
Up next, we've got your first look at the birth of a classic, Winnie the Pooh. A writer spins wonderful stories about his son's growing collection of stuffed animals, and those stories eventually give birth to the character so many of us know and love. Winnie the Pooh, the real-life inspiration, takes us back to the big screen in 1926. Goodbye, Christopher Robin is in theaters Friday, and here's your first look.
The creatures in the story are toys. They're toys, but the woods are real, and the size is wrong. The bear should be smaller. Size of a little brother. There. Yes. Yes, that's it.
Blue, are we writing a book? I thought we were just having fun.
We're writing a book and we're having fun.
It's
the story behind the creation of the Winnie the Pooh story. So it's really the story of the family at the time the stories were written.
You don't usually look like you're having fun while you're writing.
It's the very dapper Will Tilston.
Christopher Robin, he's a very emotional boy, and I would describe him as two people, really, put into one person.
Is tonight's leading man, it's Donald Gleason.
I'm playing Alan Milne, who wrote the Winnie the Pooh books.
This is more than a few poems.
It's a little world. Like you said, 100-acre paradise.
I think the whole story is about how him and his father's relationship gets confused with all this fame, and it really is a beautiful story.
We're putting you in it too.
What will you call me in the book?
Your real name, Christopher Robin.
She is one of the hottest talents on the planet, Margot Robbie.
I play Daphne Milne, A.A. Milne's wife and the mother of little Christopher Robin.
Life is full of frightful things. The great thing is to find something to be happy about.
Winnie the Pooh was, consistent throughout my childhood. I had a Winnie the Pooh toy and Tigger.
Ready to put the smile back on our faces?
What do we fight that war for?
Well, it is over.
What am I doing about it?
You're doing what you're good at, writing plays.
Had enough of making people laugh. I want to make them see. I need to get out of London.
In a world after World War I, when things were a bit, the country was hurt and the world was hurt, it kind of provided that innocence people felt robbed of. And I think even today in these times, people can find a bit of escape and a bit of a safe place in those books.
Mummy says you're writing a book to stop people going to war. I think your book is a jolly good idea.
You're the only one that does.
The stories are about innocence and childhood and imagination, things that are very important to remember in this day and age.
Shall we go for a walk?
Aren't you working?
It doesn't seem likely.
Could you think of a good name for a donkey?
Eeyore. They'll be gone in a minute.
Bees are good, aren't they? They just want to make honey.
Yes, I completely forgot about bees.
They kind of battle through trauma to get to something beautiful, and I think it's a very beautiful story.
Let's be hunters in the snow. Come on, don't get frostbite.
Winnie the Pooh.
It's rather
inexplicable.
Yes.
It's about his childhood and how it's sort of sacrificed to make other childhoods better.
Evening News will put Christopher on the front page.
I hope they experience something beautiful. I hope they're touched. A lot of people seem to go and have a good cry and feel good about themselves and good about their relationships.
He has to be allowed to grow up. He has to know he's important.
Radio interview, newspaper interview. He can't do all this.
He's rather good at it.
He's a little boy. Come on then.
Where to?
Home, I should think.
So sweet. Once again, Goodbye Christopher Robin is in theaters Friday, and just in time because today has been dubbed National Bring Your Teddy Bear to Work Day. So I've got my own Goodbye Christopher Robin bear. Thank you guys so much. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Two of CBN Asia's children's TV shows joined the biggest annual book fair in the Philippines this year. The Manila International Book Fair aims to spread the joy of reading to Filipino children. And this time, Gizmo and the characters from CBN's Oyai program came along. There was a meet and greet with viewers of the program that launched its first children's book, Oh My Kulay, or Oh My Color. They even held a storytelling session with the children. CBN Asia was able to join the book fair because of its partnership with Christian publishers and bookstores. Well, it's time now for your Wednesday word, and here's the thought to embrace when you are facing a difficult situation. Cast your cares on your God. He will either change the situation or he'll change you, and sometimes he does both. So give it all to him and watch him work. With that word, make this a wonderful Wednesday. That is going to do it for this edition of CBN Newswatch. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, you can find more of our exclusive coverage of the issues you care most about always at cbnnews.com. Thank you so much for watching. Make it a wonderful Wednesday. We'll see you back here tomorrow.